Shalom Israel first. Only all praise, glory, honor to Yahweh by Shemel Shah by Shem Kakadash. I want to see Apostle Elder Millstone. Peace and attention to 1/3 of Israel. For this lesson, I want to title it, I don't even know what I'm going to title it yet, but it's going to be on the topic of, the elect sighing and crying, for the destruction of this place. All right, because, Lord willing, I'm part of the elect. Just meditate about how wicked this place is sometimes, and like this shit gotta go. All right, everything here is confusion. From the way these people fucking maneuver. We just gotta get out of here. There's so much shit we could talk about, but I don't mean for this lesson to be too long. All right, but just look around, go on social media, folly and wickedness, and that's why us as a hopeful elect, we're chanting this place down. We want the Lord to bring the destruction, because it's like how much longer, Lord? Like this place, it gotta go. All right. This is 2 Ezra 15:5. It says, "Behold, say the Lord, I will bring plagues upon the world, the sword, famine, death, and destruction." All right, these things are needful. These things have to happen because, as I'm about to read, it says, "For wickedness hath exceedingly polluted the whole earth, and the hurtful works are fulfilled." So it has exceedingly polluted the whole earth. Everything here is defiled. You can't enjoy simple things no more. I'm gonna say woman. Like this place is full of adultery. Like fucking just freakism. So you gotta scope shit out. Even a woman, right? I was meditating upon this before the lesson started. Like you have to worry if a woman is a woman, because nowadays these transformers, they done got so fucking like deceptive with the shit that they look fucking normal, So now you got to do a whole background check on a bitch before you even try to even quote unquote deal with her. All right, but these people have no issue with it, no problem. They think it's normal. Like this shit gotta go, bro. But it says, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will hold my tongue no more as touching their wickedness, which they profanely commit. Neither will I suffer them in those things in which they wickedly exercise themselves. Behold, the innocent and righteous blood crieth unto me, and the souls of the just complain continually." All right, and that's that. The Lord willing, we part of the elect, but that's what the elect will be doing, is crying, sighing and crying for all the abominations that we've done in the midst thereof. All right, it says, "Therefore saith the Lord, I will surely avenge them, and receive unto me all the innocent blood from among them." All right, it's constantly that, Spirit is crying out against this place. Let me get that. There's even times where you be so vexed you can't even speak, but your spirit is growing, but the Lord knows. Okay, He knows exactly what you're trying to say. This is Romans 8, and I'll start at 22. So, "For we know that the whole creation groaneth and travaileth in pain together until now." All right, everything is suffering on the hands of this devil. It says, "Not only they, but ourselves also, which have the first fruits of the Spirit, even we ourselves groan within ourselves, waiting for the adoption, to wit, the redemption of our body." All right, so we're waiting for the Lord to redeem us. That's our hope. Our hope is not for this place to continue, another 1,000 years, or continue any second than the time appointed for this place to fall. We want this shit. We want this shit gone. We want to be with the Lord, and we want to be, in perfect peace. All right, but here it's none but fucking sorrows, distress, all types of wickedness that we have to endure over here. Seeing this shit. But it says, For we are saved by hope. But hope that is seen is not hope. For what a man seeth, why doth he yet hope for? But if we hope for that we see not, then do we with patience wait for it. All right, and ultimately, the hell we're saved through hope. All right, the hell we're going through, we understand. We gotta suffer it. But we have hope at the end of the day. We have hope that the Lord Yahweh Shai is going to come back and destroy this place and redeem His elect. All right, that's our hope. It says, "Likewise, the Spirit also helpeth our infirmities. For we know not what we should pray for as we ought. Sometimes, you don't, as it says, sometimes we don't know what we really need, but the Spirit helps. But the Spirit itself maketh intercession for us with groanings which cannot be uttered. And he that searcheth the hearts knoweth what is the mind of the Spirit, because he maketh intercession for the saints according to the will of the Most High. All right, so ultimately, I'm gonna repeat it again. You'll be praying. You don't really know what to pray for sometimes, but the Lord knows what you need. All right, Spirit, you're groaning. You're lost for words sometimes, but the Lord knows what you need. All right, the Lord, He knows your thoughts. He knows it all, but we gotta believe that. All right. It says, and we know that all things work together for good to them that love the Most High, to them who are the called according to His purpose. All right, it's fire. But let me go to Ezekiel 9:4, since I quoted it. Ezekiel 9:4. It says, and the Lord said unto him, talking about the angel, go through the midst of the city, through the midst of Jerusalem, and set a mark upon the foreheads of the men that sigh and that cry for all the abominations that be done in the midst of. And who's sighing and crying for all the abominations that be done in the midst of? The elect. The elect are sighing and crying for the wickedness that's going on here. Lord, how much longer? All right, because that's always been the mindset of the men of the Lord. Is how long, Lord? Because this shit is wicked. This shit, it needs to fall, and it's coming to pass. That's why bros are excited about what's going on in the world right now. Prophecy is speaking, because we know that our redemption draweth nigh. It says, and go to the others he said in mine hearing. So those that don't have the mark, and that mark that goes into the wa, meaning mark of exemption from judgment. It says, go ye after him through the city, and smite, let not your eyes spare, neither have ye pity. Slay utterly old and young, both maids and little children and women, but come not near any man upon whom is the mark, and begin at my sanctuary. Then they began at the ancient men which are before the house. And destruction is going to befall a lot of these people, because they engulfed in this wickedness. They doing this shit. They love it here. So therefore, they got to be taken out the way. All right, because they're just as bad as people doing it. Scripture says, he that justified the wicked. It's in Proverbs. Justifieth. There you go. Proverbs 17:15. It says, he that justifieth the wicked and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. So even though you may not be doing all the fucking weird shit that these people do, you may be, for lack of better terms, less wicked than a lot of these people in the world. I'm talking about someone who's obviously not in the truth. But, a regular person, person mind their business, don't be doing all this shit, right? But yet, they have that spirit of, as long as it's not near me, then I don't care. You just as bad as them doing this shit. Because the fact that they're doing this shit, you have no issue with this shit. That's just wicked. The Lord, let me reread it again. It says, Proverbs 17:15, he that justifieth the wicked, and he that condemneth the just, even they both are abomination to the Lord. And the Lord hates all abomination. So therefore, you got destruction coming towards you, because you're not right. For that shit to be okay with you, as long as it's not near me. Like, I've heard that shit so many times from Jake. Like, bro, you that shit wicked, bro. Scripture says, hate. Sirach 17:25. It says, return unto the Lord and forsake thy sins. Make thy prayer before his face and offend less. Turn again to the Most High and turn away from iniquity. For he will lead thee out of darkness into the light of health, and hate thou abomination vehemently. All right, let's put that word vehemently. Vehemently. I can't even say it right. Vehement. It says, impetuous, ardent, eager, violent, furious, ardent, carried away. All right, to go, move. All right, so let me look at them. in a forceful, passionate, or an intense manner with great feeling. So you have no ties to this shit. You hate that shit ultimately, and that's how the elect feel about this shit. Like, we hate this shit. Lord willing, that's us. We hate this shit. We want this place to fall. All the wickedness that goes on here, we're just like vexed. It's like not like vexed, just like Lot vexed. All right. 2 Peter 2:7, it says, "And delivered just Lot, vexed with the filthy conversation of the wicked, but a righteous man dwelling among them, and seeing and hearing, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds." All right, so that's us, you know, vexed, vexed his righteous soul from day to day with their unlawful deeds. So it's every day. You should, you always have a moment of like you see some shit and this shit pisses you off. You hear about some shit like, bro, this shit gotta go, and this shit is the wickedness is glorified here. Like, man, this shit gotta go. All right, let me get that. Luke 18:7. It says, "And shall not the Most High avenge his own elect, which cry day and night unto him, though he bear long with him?" All right, and this is proving what the elect would be doing, be crying and sighing for this place to be destroyed, because this shit is wicked. It says, "I tell you that he will avenge them speedily. Nevertheless, when the Son of Man cometh, shall he find faith on the earth?" So ultimately, Yahweh Shai, he's coming to deliver us and put this wicked rule down. All right. But, in the meantime, we got to keep pushing, endure, because, hey, we at the end of this shit, all right? So, with that, hopefully it was well said and edifying. I want to give all praise and glory honor to Yahweh, Ba'al Shem Yahshua, Ba'al Shem Kakadash. Next time, shalom.